everyone, greetings. I am Dr.M.Vigneswari, Assistant Professor of Physics, PG and Research Department of Physics, SFR College. In this session, I am going to handle the class about energy sources and their availability. Actually, this is a very good topic at a current scenario. So, before we start the session, first of all, we should know about what is energy. So, without energy, we can't do anything. So, energy is nothing but the capacity to do the work. The various forms of energies are available, which is nothing but kinetic energy, potential energy, electrostatic energy, geothermal energy, and so many energies are available. So, there are so many types of energies are there. First of all, thermal energy. So, thermal energy is the energy of movement. So, here that is energy, it cannot be destroyed, neither destroyed nor developed. So, it can be transformed from one form to another. It may exist in various forms. For example, thermal energy is the energy of movement. Here, the heat energy can be transferred through the particles from one place to another place. So, it can attain the energy which is nothing but thermal energy. And next one is light energy. Light energy is also the electromagnetic energy. And the chemical energy, which is nothing but energy stored in the bonds of atoms and molecules, which is very much useful in batteries, biomass, petroleum and natural gas. And the nuclear energy, so the energy stored in the nucleus of an atom, such is used in nuclear power plants, that is nothing but nuclear energy. And the another form of energy is nothing but electrical energy. It is the energy of movement of electrical charges. Further, the another form is gravitational energy, that is nothing but energy stored in the object's height, such as when a person rides a bicycle down a hill. So, that time the person can having some energy which is nothing but the gravitational energy. So, then the mechanical energy which is used in the compression of spring and stretched rubber bands. So, that kind of material having stored energy, that is nothing but mechanical energy. The sources of energy, there are two classifications of energy. One is renewable energy, which is nothing but non-conventional energy, and another one is non-renewable energy. Okay. So, here first we discussed about non-renewable energy. It comes from the finite source that takes millions of years to form. For example, coal, natural gas, oil. At the same time, the renewable energy, that is one classification of energy source, that is comes from natural sources that are replenished faster than they are consumed. So, for example, solar energy from the sun and wind energy from the wind, geothermal energy from the earth heat, hydropower energy from the flowing water, biomass energy from organic materials. So, first we concentrate about non-renewable energy. Before that, what is non-renewable resource? It is a natural resource that is found underneath the earth. The resources that cannot be renewed once they are consumed. These resources cause environmental pollution. These resources are completely exhaustible. These are affected by human activities. For example, natural gas, coal, petroleum. So, let me explain one by one. First of all, natural gas. So, actually natural gas is a fossil fuel energy source. It contains many different compounds. The largest component of natural gas is methane. So, natural gas also contains some smaller amounts of natural gas liquids, which is called hydrocarbon gas liquids, and non-hydrocarbon gases such as CO2 and water vapor. We use natural gas as a fuel and to make materials and chemicals. Then, how did natural gas can form? So, we know that is millions to hundreds to millions of years ago, the remainings of plants and animals built up in thick layers on the earth's surface and ozone floors. Sometimes it can be mixed with sand, slit and calcium carbonate. Over time, these layers were buried under sand, slit and rock. So, there is a major role plays pressure and heat. Here the pressure and heat changed some of this carbon and hydrogen rich material into the coal, some into oil and some into natural gas. This is the form of natural gas. This is the way to form natural gas get formed. But all the natural gas plants use a gas turbine, which means the natural gas is ordered along with the stream of air which composed and expands through this turbine, causing a generator to spin a magnet. It can produce electricity. This is the way of producing electricity by using natural gas. So, the next one is coal. Coal is primarily used as a fuel to generate electric power. So, here the heat produced by the combustion of the coal is used to convert water into high pressure stream which drives a turbine which produces electricity. Like natural gas, coal takes millions of years to form. Here also pressure plays a very important role. Here the pressure and heat can be changed the plants into the substance we can call as a coal. What are the advantages by using coal as a renewable, which has a non-renewable energy resources? These are typically cheaper than renewable source since they are more abundant, easier to and these are very easy to find and easy to extract. And the second advantage is reliability. Non-renewable sources like coal and natural gas are very consistent and dependable. It can provide power whenever it's needed. Okay. So, there are so many advantages and disadvantages of non-renewable energy resources. The one is energy output. It can produce a large amount of energy, and second thing is availability. It can be easily found and it can be easily transported around the world. Even though it having some disadvantages, first one is environmental impact. So, it releases CO2 into the atmosphere which contributes to the greenhouse effect, and it should lead the rising the temperature in our earth. And second disadvantage is pollution. So, burning fossil fuels contaminates the air and water. It creates lot of pollution. And third one is nuclear waste is one of the non-renewable energy. Nuclear power plants produce radioactive waste which can be extremely toxic in our world. The next classification is nothing but renewable energy. So, actually renewable energy sources are very important for addressing climate change because they produce far fewer emissions than fossil fuels. It comes from unlimited naturally replenished resources such as the sun, tides and wind. Renewable energy can be used for electricity generation, space and water heating and cooling and transportation. So, there are so many renewable energy sources are there. Let me explain one by one. So, the first of all solar energy. Solar, it is a readily available source that emits to no greenhouse gases. This is a very important thing. So, solar power is actually energy from the sun that is converted into thermal or electrical energy. Solar energy is the cleanest energy and most abundant renewable energy source in our universe. It plays an important role in reducing greenhouse gas emissions and mitigating climate change, which is critical to protecting humans and wildlife and our ecosystems. The most commonly used solar technologies for homes and businesses are solar photovoltaics for electricity, passive solar design for space heating and cooling, and solar water heating. So, these are the very good application or very important applications of solar energy. The next renewable energy is wind energy. Actually, wind is a very plentiful resource that will be available as long as the sun heats the planet. It does not burn fuel or pollute the air. That is very important. And the next renewable energy is geothermal energy. So, here it is the geothermal energy is nothing but it is the heat energy that comes from Earth's core and is used for heating, cooling and generating electricity. How it is generated? So, wells are drilled into underground reservoirs to tap stream and hot water. And how it will be used as geothermal heat pumps can heat and cool buildings, and geothermal power plants can generate electricity. So geothermal electric station emit less than 5% of carbon dioxide of conventional coal fixed plants. So that is very important energy. The next renewable energy is nothing but hydro energy. It uses kinetic energy of water for generating electricity. So here dams change the natural flow of river. It will cause the water to fall or run very fast. The water's kinetic energy is then converted into electricity using turbines and generators. So hydropower has low greenhouse gas emissions. It operating at very low cost. So high ramp rate. What is the high ramp rate? Which means it can quickly respond to electricity demand. So these are the examples of renewable energy resources. So there are so many advantages and disadvantages of renewable energy also. So first of all, let me explain about advantages. So the first very interesting advantage is environmental. So it can produce no greenhouse gas emission in our world. So it can reduce air pollution. It never pollute water resources. That is the environmental contribution. The second one is, what about the economic contribution? Means it reduce energy cost and also it increase energy independence in our society. And third advantage is it's very reliable. So and also it will be sustainable and it won't be run out. It can provide a reliable power supply even in the without any infrastructure. It can provide a reliable power supply. And last one is it is very affordable. That means it is very cheaper and healthier. It can improve our air and soil quality by reducing greenhouse emission. So these are the advantages of renewable energy, even though it is having some disadvantages. So what are the disadvantages? Means first one is it should be weather dependence. So they are not available in all the time since they are affected by weather condition. And second thing is it leads high initial cost. So it can be experienced to manufacture and install at very high cost and low efficiency. For example, we can use solar panel, means we have to get only 15 to 20% of efficiency. So these are the disadvantages of renewable energy resources. And thank you viewers for watching my session, and I hope you will know about well known about energy sources and their availability after this session. Thank you so much for watching my session. I hope you well known understand about energy resources and availability after this session. Keep going on. All the very best. Thank you so much.